our pastor did, because I was telling him the story somehow for the first time, and I couldn't believe he didn't hear it. But then, the reason I'm telling it again here is because Earl is here, and he was there when this happened. Now, as you know, I'm sure most of you, as a country music artist, there's no greater stage than the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee. It's the mother church of country music. You know, it's just a rite of passage. We premiered, our very first time ever there was on the Sing-Off tour. And so I was, I've known Earl for 20 years now, because he was working in his group, like starting up 20-ish years ago, about the time Blue Jupiter, and the a cappella community, especially back then, was pretty small, so you kind of all knew of everybody that was doing something important at all. And then it was just crazy, 15 years later to be on national TV, doing this thing that was new and exciting to everybody, like all of a sudden this underground thing that we loved became mainstream. And Earl and I got really close during that filming, but then especially on the Sing-Off tour, we got so close. And he introduced me to Early Times whiskey back when I was drinking. And there was this little piece of paper in the tour bus. Now, we had never done tour buses before, it's like we were driving around like this with a car full of shit. And all of a sudden we're on a tour bus, so we don't know how this works. And there's like a thing here where it's like, if you need any groceries, just write it on here. And, at first you're like, cool, I have cereal. And then after like a week, you're like, candy, and they bring that, and then by week 3 you're like, Early Times, and then by week 4 you're like, 2 Early Times, and then halfway through the tour it's like 2 of the biggest bottle of Early Times they had, and they just kept doing it. So anyway, that was our pre-game ritual, is Earl and I would drink Early Times before each show. And then there was one show where I got up there and I was kind of like the unofficial MC, and I was like, boy, I've had a little too much Early Times before this show. And shortly after that, I quit drinking altogether. But then we went to the Ryman Auditorium, and again, it's my first time there. My family all drives up from Texas to see that, and it's just a really special thing. And I come back out to introduce the ultimate sing-off. We're trying to recreate that thing from the Sing-Off where a group battles the other group, even though that was all pretty manufactured anyway. But it was voice play versus the Philharmonic. So I come back out, just to play the part of Nick Lachey. I'm just on the stage for like 1 minute introing this thing, and some woman chose that moment to walk all the way up to the stage. I mean, I'm talking belly up to the stage, and go, "I damn!" And I'm talking, I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to be dramatic, just be funny about it. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It's almost time for the ultimate sing-off. I damn! Just ignore it. I'm like, between voice play, I damn! And Philharmonic, I damn! And I just stay like this, looking at the Philharmonic with my eyes giant, and they're all dying laughing. And I'm like, surely, and finally, I just keep going with my intro as if she's not there, and she goes, "Okay, I'll catch you later," and walks back to her seat. And I apologize, she's here today. But anyway, so that is a true story. And so I get done with my little bit, and then I have to exit between the groups, and then exit as the lights are becoming dramatic for the ultimate sing-off. And as I get right behind Earl to leave stage, I hear Earl go, "I damn!" So, true story, there are witnesses. That was one of the weird, that was my Ryman debut. I had to deal with that. It's pretty been smooth sailing since then. As you know, I now engage with folks like that to make them regret ever doing things like that. But she got a free pass because I was new and my mom was there. There's a little story that goes with this next one. Why don't you give me a little, set the mood here. Oh, that's really moody. There's a song on my solo album called On My Way Home, but that was not the original intended format. It was actually supposed to be a song in the style of those hair bands of the 80s, which you now know I love, because we've done a few of those songs. We've done a few of those songs at Backyard Bashes, and you saw how I dressed for our last music video. Guy liner and everything. But yeah, I wrote this for another artist who asked me, like, hey, can you give me like a Bon Jovi-esque song? I'm like, sure. So of course I put it up there in that key. And then shortly after that, he got divorced and lost his green card and moved away real quick. So I thought, would be a shame. I like this song. It'd be a shame for it to just gather dust. So we lowered the key drastically, made it country, kind of country rock, and put it on my solo album. But you know, since I've got this lovely lady here to my right, then I would like to show you all this, present you this song in its original format and key.
Can't seem to clear his mind. His eyes are on the road, but his heart's with Caroline. Ooh, and she sits on the floor, waiting for the word she's heard 1,000 times before. I'm on my way home. Before you know it, I'll be walking through the door.